what do I got next? I think I'm going to SmackDown if I'm not mistaken. Yes, SmackDown on the 18th on Friday. So here's Solo's Bloodline as they enter the ring. This is the opening segment of SmackDown. So Solo comes out. I don't even know what Solo said, honestly. He's lost all his luster to me after he's lost clean so many times. So I don't know. He's gloating or something about being the tribal chief and everything. And I think Jey Uso's music hits. That's the surprised look on his face right there, because I don't know if anybody was expecting that. But yeah, so Jey Uso comes in through the crowd, main event Jey Uso, and he makes his way to the ring and talks to Solo, his little brother. And Solo told him, "Don't call me little brother, right? I'm your tribal chief." But what was basically the basic thing Jey was saying was that, you've split up the family, right? You've divided the family, and that's not good. And Solo disagreed with him. He's like, "You're wasting my time." He's like, "I'm trying to unite the family, under me, because I'm doing good, basically." And Jey responded with like, "All right, if you want to unite the family, that's fine, but why did you bring them in?" And pointing at all three guys behind him, the Tonga Loa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu's, staring a hole into him, and basically Jay's like, "Hey, if you keep giving me that look, I'm gonna whoop your ass," or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Right. Yeah, right. Jacob Fatu would kick his ass. It would be bad. It would be bad. I mean, if we're talking about it was legit, in the legit fight, let's continue.
Yeah, that was a cool little moment, though. But
yeah,
what do I got? I think, and then Jey leaves, and Solo holds Jacob back. He's like, "Don't do nothing. It's all good." And Jey walks off. And I think he goes to the back. Later on, Jimmy and Roman show up to SmackDown in a car in the back. And they bump into Jey Uso. Jey Uso kind of smiles at Jimmy, but when he sees Roman, he just wants to leave. And Roman holds him by the arm. He's like, "Wait." And he talks to him for a second. He says, I remember him telling him, "I'm proud of you for winning the Intercontinental title," right? Gives him gives him a look in the eye, looks him straight in the eye, kind of seems apologetic in a way without saying it. And I think Jay's response was, he goes, "Not yeet." Right? That's what he said. That's all he said. He goes, "Not yeet," and he walks off. And Roman's like, "I knew it." He told Jimmy, he's like, "Yeah, he's not going to forgive me." I mean, based on what they've done to each other, yeah, it makes sense. Roman's like, "Man, we shouldn't even be wasting our time with this, because he's just not going to come around." And Jimmy's like, "No, we should still try." So here's Jimmy and Roman talking in the back. And Roman's like, "No, I'm going to try it my way." And basically he goes, "I'm going to go out there and acknowledge Solo." So everyone's like, "What? You're going to acknowledge Solo?" So he goes out there, he does his whole acknowledge me thing. And he listens to the crowd, takes it in, right? First time he's done that in a while. Acknowledge you for what? But okay. Solo comes out by himself with the Ulafala. He is the tribal chief right now. And they're going to have like a serious discussion in the ring, one-on-one. And Roman tells him, he's like, "Hey, genuinely, I don't think this is better. Like, I don't see how you've improved the situation for us." And then he had a little emotional moment where he looked like he was kind of tearing up and said, "I told my father, who just passed away recently, that I could fix this." He tells Solo, "What can I do to fix this? What can I do to fix our family?" And Solo laughs and he goes, "Well, you have to acknowledge me." And Roman's like, "All right, fine, I acknowledge you." And Solo's like, "No, man, that's not good enough. You need to acknowledge me as your tribal chief, or else," right? And Roman goes, "Or else what?" Screams at him. And Solo laughs, and he goes, "You see, I knew you were never going to change, and because of that, I'm never going to change either." And he snaps his fingers, and his boys come out, and they're carrying Jimmy Uso, and they've beat his ass, and I don't know how they beat his ass, but they didn't show that. That was off camera. But that ensues a fight. Then ensues a fight between Roman Reigns and the rest of the Bloodline. Roman puts up a good fight, kind of lands a Superman punch on Solo, even gets his hands on the Ulafala necklace, puts it on before Solo Sikoa nails him with a low blow, and then I think they're just going to proceed to whoop his ass to end the show and leave him laying with the Samoan spike again on Roman, and that's the end. So, oh, Jacob Fatu puts the Ulafala necklace back on Solo Sikoa. That's a nice picture of Jacob right there. I like that one. But, all right, so that's how that show ended. All right, let's get some ratings from you guys. Pull up the Malapert Smark rating system. All right, once again, 3 thumbs up. 3 normal thumbs up from us, not 2 thumbs up. We liked it, but okay. Let's get some thoughts. Who should I go to first? I'll go to Vlad first this time. So, Vlad, any thoughts you want to give on Smackdown? I guess a lot of stuff happened here. Jey Uso showed up. Roman tried to make up with Jey a little bit, and then another fight with Roman and the Bloodline afterwards. So the floor is all yours, man.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I did like this a lot. But I guess what I didn't understand really, what was Jey, what was his point of showing up? Like, what did he really want to accomplish? Like, he said he didn't want to be involved in this Bloodline war.
Can't help it, man. It's his family.
All right, well, I mean, he ignored Jimmy Raw, but they're like the first time he has an opportunity, he interrupts.
Well, he's had a
Solo.
few nights to sleep on it, so maybe he's thought about it. I don't know.
Sure. But overall, I mean, the angle is really good. You know, it's a nice logical angle. It's all for the most part making sense. Oh, look, I know I just said what I said about Jey, but overall, I'm enjoying it, and I'm curious actually to see when they're gonna bring back the Wise Man. When is Paul Heyman coming back? Because I kind of miss that guy, believe it or not. What do they need somebody else? Do they need? I mean, I'm gonna throw out Sami Zayn because that's who they had, but I don't know. I mean, for it to be a 4-on-4 match, I don't know. But anyways, I guess what I'm saying is I'm enjoying this. I'm digging it. Do you feel, Kaon, that Solo's getting at least some of his credibility back, leaving Roman laying the last couple of weeks? I think the last 2 weeks they've left him laying.
Well, as a stable, they've been doing all right. I mean, Solo, when he lost that steel cage match to Cody, he was all by himself. I mean, we did think like it was a steel cage match with no rules. Why he didn't? I mean, they really messed up bad at that point. So that one hurt him a lot. That hurt him a lot. That hurt his credibility a lot. Did he get it back? Honestly, no. I don't really think so. I think if they get Jey Uso and Sami Zayn on their side, they're gonna whoop these guys' ass because the only guy that's legit on their stable is Jacob Fatu, and everyone else is just whatever. But anyways, I'm gonna get comments from Robert also here. Thumbs up from Robert. Any thoughts you want to give about the Bloodline from SmackDown here?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I feel like whenever the Bloodline saga ends, I'll probably consider this one of the best long-term storylines in wrestling ever. That's okay, my opinion. But
No?
all right, but for tonight's angle, let me start off with the Jey Uso part from the beginning. So, not a big fan of Jey Uso, but I actually liked him in that segment when he was talking to Solo. I thought that was pretty cool. I just like what Vlad said earlier. I don't know what the point was of him even showing up, but I still like his interaction with Solo. Maybe when he's with his family, he's better. And when he tries to do other stuff, it's just like, oh, kind of cringe. But anyways, I don't know what Roman's plan was. Clearly, it failed. And I don't know. It until he picked up the Ula Fala, it looked like he was doing just fine on his own, taking on the whole new bloodline. So like, the stable kind of still looks weak. Well, Jacob Fatu still looks strong, but as a overall stable, they're not that intimidating. Personally, if Roman could, fend them off on his own for like at least a good minute or so. But still, I enjoyed this angle for this episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, I do wonder how this is gonna end with everybody. Like, I mean, Roman's probably going to become tribal chief again, but is he going to get everybody on his team? Is he going to get Jacob and the Tama Tonga and Tagaloa too, or whatever? I don't know. I'm curious how it all pans out, but okay, that'll be for another day.
They could be building up to an eventual Rock versus Roman.
Oh yes, that's true.
Maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
This is true. I keep forgetting about The Rock. Forgetting about The Rock. But
how can you forget about The Rock?